Uh, all right, guys. Welcome in. I wanted to check the. Let me turn this up. See if it's. This is the problem with this microphone. When I move this microphone, it's so easy to. I do it inadvertently. It turns up and down when I try and move the microphone. It's just such a stupid mechanism. And so even today, I was filming something on very low volume. I had to redo the video. It was like 18 minutes. So nothing more annoying than that. I don't know. This stream will just turn into a fucking stock market fear, basically. No, it's not gonna be Black Monday. It's down 5%. So it's down again, and crypto fucking shit the bed today, real bad. It's gonna fall this maybe 3-5%. I don't know, man. We'll see. But everyone's just been talking about the stock market, the stock market, the stock market. Now there's these protests. It's this psyop with these people. You know, I saw some things that they said that there's going to be a lot of these people protesting during the summer. I mean, if they're already coming out now, and it's like cold weather in the East Coast, like 40, 50 degrees, you got to wonder how bad is it going to be during the summer. You got Florida or Houston. I mean, if Houston wins, I think I'll probably finish in the 98th or 99th percentile. I'm in the 87th right now. Yeah, dude, my bracket would have been destroyed. You see, they made a GoFundMe for the kid who stabbed the other kid. Yeah, the kid, Carmelo Anthony, the kid that stabbed Austin Metcalf. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I think that race relations, but this is what always happens with race relations. They're going to reach a certain breaking point, I feel like. But they bubble up when there's something like this that happens, and Bitcoin is 70-something. I know, but anytime Bitcoin falls now, dude, the market just gets obliterated. Well, Bitcoin was holding at like 82 for like 3 weeks or something, and then it just falls. And I don't want to deal with this shit. What did I like? Oh, yeah, we'll watch this. Here's an Elon protest. They got a nice little swastika there. Crude oil down 4%. I know. That might be Trump's secret weapon, is energy going down. Thank God. Crude oil has been down really since he came in. Just keeps going down. You're worried about an impeachment, or the Senate will get enough rhino to force Trump to capitulate? Or you think they're going to put pressure on him to stop? I mean, this is what I think. I think there's going to be negotiations with countries, and that should calm some of the fears on like what they considered like radical tariffs. There's going to be negotiations. Now, I don't know when the deals are going to be made and when they're going to be announced and when all the tariffs are going to be removed off of some of these countries. But some of this is to get these countries to remove their tariffs off of us. Stocks aren't crashing. They're on sale. Yeah, I mean, listen, whenever there's fear in the market, it's always a good time to buy. Especially, I mean, it couldn't get any worse than like the next week. I keep saying that, though, so maybe I should stop saying that. But it's like, it's just constant. Don't think we'll see Black Monday 2.0 tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I just put that in the title. You know, you got to put something in the title that's catchy. But I mean, let's look at some of these protests and see what these people are doing here. I mean,
today we're confronting these anti-Trump and anti-Elon Musk protesters, seeing what they're protesting for. Let's see who we can get up here. Wow.
I just want to remind you of protest procedure. Don't film unless it's consent of anyone's faces. And we'd ask if you
are on public property, though, so we can film.
Are you part of the protest? Are you against?
Of course, I'm here. Hey, easy, dude. You don't have our consent to do this.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me!
Whoa,
don't touch me!
I didn't touch you for nothing.
You touched me! Don't touch me!
You want some money? He's touching
Can we
him.
get someone around these people, please?
Walk around them, circle.
Elbows!
Easy, easy.
Elbows!
Easy,
Elbows!
easy.
No.
Easy.
We're not here to.
Wait.
We're not here for the protest.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Boy, they sniffed this kid out, didn't they?
Police!
What? Get the police. What did I do?
Don't feed the trolls.
No. Get 'em
Elbows
off the
around.
Elbows around. Holy cow. Don't let me go. Ooh, what are you going to do?
Elbows!
Elbows. Man, we are peaceful.
It's like it's a
What
caricature.
is going on out here? Watch, he can't keep running. Okay, what is going on, everybody? Look, we got a crowd coming.
I don't know. I just have so little care for any of this liberal fucking bullshit anymore, where they go out and they protest and they scream and they call everything a dictatorship. Nobody gives a shit about this anymore, man. And then the other thing is, like, for these people, they all disperse and they all do their own protests. So there's no actual huge seismic protest of like 1 million or 2 million people. It's always like there's like 3K people here, 3K people there. I mean, there's no. I don't even know what the, I guess they protest the tariffs. Then they protest Musk and say, oh, he's a billionaire in government, it's bad. When they get way more money, the left does, than the right in terms of the billionaires. Way more money. So what is the actual argument? Last 12 hours, then everyone forgets. I mean, I forget, but it doesn't even, like, there's no actual effect of any of this. Half of it is paid for. I mean, but there's too many people for it to be. I mean, these people, they are synced. I know people say it's all paid for, and some of the organizers certainly are all paid when they organize it, like at the top, at these different cities, in these different cities, they'll be paid. But I mean, there are people that just think like this. Mad because they're not getting the response they want. Well, I mean, this kid is like, Nick Shirley, I think, he's a conservative. They snuck him out, and you're not allowed to ask any questions, I guess, if you're like any conservative at these events.
Dude, you touched me. Bro, get off me. He's touching me. I know I'm attractive, but I'm not that attractive to be following me like stink on poo. Come on, man, get off me.
Get off the property. Go.
Yeah, ma'am,
Go.
stop following me. Bro, what are you doing? Continue
I'm part
our
of security. He's not allowed
You're
to
not
be here.
part of
Do
no
not
security.
engage.
I could have brought a construction vest as well.
I thought you were trying to fight for our country.
I am fighting for our country.
Okay.
You guys, get off me.
Zone 5 agitators.
I ain't no agitator.
Yes, you are.
He's the one agitating me. Ma'am, I came in a suit to be respectful for you guys today. Oh, geez, are you moaning, sir? Drop the moan.
He's riding up on me.
He's riding up on
me. This is not
This
okay.
guy
He's got a
has
boner.
mask.
Fascist here! Fascist here!
Look at. How are you guys doing?
Fascists don't belong here!
That's fine.
How are you doing, ma'am?
It'd be better if Donald Trump wasn't in president.
Look at him, look at him.
Fascists don't
Look at him.
belong
Grab their
here.
microphone, they freak out. Bro, these.
Help! Help! He's hurting me!
You look like a fool. You know that's what you are?
Looked like he was humping him.
Fool. I am. I'm looking professional. Oh my gosh.
Help! He's touching me!
Bro, you.
You're breaking into people.
I'm not. Help! What is going on? This guy's a lunatic. What are you guys doing? Get your hands off me, little Antifa boy. Get the police officer these fools. Officer, these guys. Where did your one little boy go?
We did not touch you. We're safety.
Yes, you guys have. I have every right to be here.
You guys can go do what you're doing. Let him walk away. Don't engage.
He's not walking away, though.
I try to walk everywhere here, and you guys followed me everywhere I go.
Because you're shoving microphones in people's place.
I haven't done it once.
You've done it a million times.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how this, these people, but there's stuff all over the place on these protests. I mean, it's there was that one protester again, the fat girl in the wheelchair, and then like with a collar, and then behind her is Trump and Musk, and then she's supposed to like emulate Israel. It's just all just so performative. These people get to vote. Well, I mean, it's and especially these people do vote. Obviously, if they're going to come out and they're this, and the problem with for Republicans is these people also vote in every single election, not just the presidential election. So they're voting in the local stuff, and that's why Republicans get crushed in that. But I don't know, man. What are they accomplishing? Didn't they call Trump a fascist and do all of this before and say January 6th was worse than 9/11 and then Trump won everything? So what you're not really, it's not a winning strategy. How long do you think till China caves? What, in terms of negotiating? I don't know, man. I heard that Trump was going to potentially, it seemed like he was hinting at lowering their tariffs or doing something to help alleviate the tariffs on their trade if they made a deal with, I guess, Oracle or someone in the United States for TikTok. I don't know why he's so obsessed with TikTok. They're like, well, TikTok helped him win. But what does it matter? Why is Trump so obsessed with TikTok to where he'll give them a better deal, you know, if they hand it over? I don't know. And I guess TikTok is, you know, there's young people, but TikTok is more of just, you know, but now apparently they're filtering the speech and getting all the Palestinian people off of TikTok. I don't know. Give me your thoughts on Ben Shapiro on Trump's tariffs. Yeah, he's got a lot of nerve to go after Trump after everything Trump did for Israel, being so pro-Israel. You know, and then he talks about his jewelry friend who's trying to sell jewelry or something, and oh, it's being tariffed and all this, and you know, he's pissed off because Israel removed all of their tariffs against the United States the day before because they knew they were going to be reciprocal, and he's pissed off because they're not reciprocal. It's based off of the trade deficit. But I mean, it's all just the leftist bullshit, you know, oh, bitching about higher prices and everything like that. But these people, I mean, do we understand what trade-offs are in economics? There's going to be higher prices on certain things, but it's like they can gauge the exact amount something's going to cost. There's so many factors. There's no way you could gauge that. What is so special about TikTok? I mean, TikTok has a lot of young people on it, but I just don't know what Trump's obsession is with it. You're 18, you hate TikTok, you don't have it. Yeah, I haven't had TikTok in years, honestly. I mean, I understand short-form content. I mean, I watch YouTube Shorts because it is short-term dopamine. It's understandable, but did you see that Netanyahu is traveling to DC? That's just what we need, right? Is another meeting. Yeah, Netanyahu's going to be meeting with Trump maybe on Tuesday, they said. Monday or Tuesday, I don't know. That's just great. I wonder what Trump will say about the Gaza Strip. They want TikTok to have more Western control to censor pro-Palestinian. Yeah, I mean, I can. That's originally what people were saying, because it's a haven for just Hamas and Palestinian stuff and anti-Israel stuff, and you know, they said they wanted that under control, obviously. JP Morgan says Fed may have to cut interest rates before next meeting. I wonder what that is. I actually think it's right here. Fed emergency cut. 28% chance. So that's what it would be, an emergency cut. Yeah, it's no change is dropping like a rock. They're going to cut possibly on May 7th. Because of this stock activity. I mean, that's a very quick cut if they do it that quickly. But I mean, I thought they might cut last month and they never did. But there was really little chance they were going to do that. The fascist Trump regime must go. Very original. Yeah, look at this. This was in Boston, Massachusetts, liberal Boston. Thoughts on Vance saying we need to seize all Chinese-owned American land? I mean, that's an obvious winning thing. I mean, to me, it's crazy that China can strategically buy land in certain rural parts of the United States. Like, yeah, that's probably not a good thing. But then it comes to the whole legality of seizing it versus forcing them to sell, or people were angry about that. But the land needs to be given up by the Chinese. It's absurd. Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's record. Yeah, I don't watch much hockey, honestly, man. But I did see that was in the news. Done a video on Muhammad Atta, his background. I've done a few videos on him. Maybe like a year ago or so. If you just look it up, I'm sure it'll be on there. Cutting interest rates is a great... Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what Trump wanted. He wanted the interest rates cut, and now they might be cut in an emergency fashion. He might get multiple cuts within a few months of the interest rates. I mean, inflation is dropping like a rock, which isn't surprising, but I think the core inflation's at 1.3, but I want to get the monthly number on the 10th. Historical choke last night from... I know. They saved my bracket. It was insane. How... It just... I mean, even up by 6. I think they were up by 6 and they had the baller. That's the thing, though. Late in college games, those 1-and-1s. Those 1-and-1s are killers. Because you missed the front end, you don't get another free throw. Only big protests you see are in blue cities that hate Trump. I don't know. There's been a lot of, like, local protests, too, man. There were protests all over. I mean, Rachel Maddow said on Friday on her show, they were like, they were planning all these protests, and it was, but I mean, if they're doing this in April, early April, you can only imagine what they're going to be doing in the summer. Buckle up. Why are stocks crashing? It's fallout of the tariffs. Should you invest before inflation number comes out? Well, I mean, I think, you know, anytime there's serious fear in the market's probably a good time to buy. I mean, but dude, honestly, I've been saying invest for like the past 3 or 4 days, and it keeps dropping. So I mean, you know, it's whenever you think is a good time. I mean, maybe right before the Fed rate the cut comes, but it might be an emergency cut, so we might not be able to predict it necessarily. Rest in peace, Austin Metcalf. Yeah, that was a horrible, horrible story. Another summer of love. Well, there would have to be another race situation to spur something like that. But I mean, I guess this could just be hating on Trump for, you know, this might just be depending on what Trump wants to do with Israel and Palestine. There's a lot of Palestinian protesters that are extremely angry. I saw Hassan, the streamer. He was talking at one of these protests. It just looks just pathetic. I mean, he's like holding the microphone. It's... Do you believe we will have a Black Monday 2.0? It's not going to be as bad. It's not going to be as bad. No. I mean, we got good unemployment data as well on Friday. The numbers were a lot better than expected. They were over... The jobs creation was like 40 or 50K more. Instagram Reels is like the Fourth Reich. Yeah, there's been a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, Instagram for sure. I agree with you, man. Because I've been starting to use Instagram a little bit more, and just, I mean, it is like a lot of that. What gets me is that they use the trade deficit instead of the actual tariff with most of the countries he put on that chart. Yeah, I know. They used the trade deficit and then said it was the tariff of the countries. Any Greenlandist? I haven't heard anything on Greenland. I mean, dude, but this is how it is with the cycle. It's gonna, you know, there'll be news on Greenland, but right now everything's about the market. It's down. These protests. You know, it's all the tariff situation right now. But I'm sure we're going to get huge Israel news probably on Tuesday when Trump meets with him. You know how the news cycle works. It works in circles. So they'll circle back to Greenland at some point. Can you see a civil war feel like a small thing can set it off? I don't know, man. Maybe isolated fighting in bigger cities. That's what I would say about that. But it depends what happens. I mean, people always talk about Trump getting killed and stuff. I mean, the problem is if Trump got killed, the left would gloat about it, which would only make it even more, you know, real bad. I mean, certainly the establishment left wouldn't gloat about it, but a lot of the people would be. And to this day, I mean, obviously, there's all these people that would cheer it if Trump died. And so when you have a political climate like that, it's not much good can come from that. Now, I can't predict exactly what would happen in terms of how significant the violence would be, but what happened to Fort Knox, I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll still go. It just depends. A media member's going to have to ask Trump, and that's kind of how this stuff goes. $300K deployed to Iran. Do you think we'll see a ground? I saw that. The troops, yeah, it's fucked if that happens, man. Oh, another Middle Eastern war in the name of Israel with this stock market turmoil right now. Trump has to know that can't happen. The left would get rolled in 3 days in a civil war. Well, they try and say that they because they have the major cities. I mean, their food supplies will get cut off, and I mean they don't have weapons. That's the other thing. But they try and like say, well, no, we actually do have guns because we protect ourselves now, and they try and argue it, but it's just like a bullshit hypothetical that'll never happen. Will there be a race war? You hope not. Well, I mean, you know how it is when there's like a killing like this. It really heightens the racial tensions. But, I mean, if there's, like, back-to-back-to-back, then you're talking about, like, a code red. But I mean, there definitely is a lot of things festering on X, for sure, about this stuff. And, you know, it's just the West in general has gotten so liberal. Like, listen to Bill Clinton in the 1990s. The left would, like, throw him off a bridge. I mean, it's crazy how liberal even the United States has gotten. And they say, we're, like, this fucking right-wing fascist. Like, you gotta have perspective. Next time the borders of the world map significantly change, I mean, I guess World War III. But I don't know, man. I mean, significantly change in terms of, like, land territorial takeover. Yeah, I mean, that they would have to be that. S&P and Russell is down. Yeah, everything is down. I mean, everything is down right now. But dude brought a retard finder to an anti-Elon protest. Tim Walz out protesting Musk again. They are paid protesters. Well, I mean, the organizers are all paid, yeah, but I mean, they're not going to pay all of these people. But these are all really old people, man. They're very, very old people. That's the thing is, you get like Republicans go and they report and they're like, these people are all 65, 70 years old. We're with Iran soon. I mean, hopefully with Trump meeting with Netanyahu, we're going to hear some stuff on that. I don't know exactly what. I'm sure there'll be more threats from Trump because that's what he does. But yeah, they just sent troops there, so... Or they strategically moved troops. So, but guys, Trump is meeting with Netanyahu, so speculating on this right now, it's like, let's just wait to see what they say. And again, what Trump does is he does these huge threats in the public eye. Waka Talk 21, thank you for that, man. You're from the future. Mark Carney wins. Massachusetts is blue in 2026. I become a liberal Biden forever, bro. Trends on the news. Russia exists. What do you mean Massachusetts is blue in 2026? What do you think, it's gonna fucking turn red? I mean, that's like one of the bluest cities. Or the bluest states, excuse me. Yeah, my liberal arc will be impressive. It'll be something to watch, man, for sure. My heel turn? Yeah, that'll never happen. Globalists have completely brainwashed most boomers and beyond. How about this? But I mean, that is good. Is it not good that you'd rather the boomers be liberal and the younger people be conservative? Now, obviously, all the younger women are liberal. Holy shit. But still, it's kind of like we're seeing a changing of the guard, where more of the Gen Z is conservative and all the old people are liberal. You know, I still remember seeing like a demographic or, you know, in terms of age, like an age chart back in maybe June or July of, you know, it was like a poll for the election. I was like, wait, boomers are liberal now? Yeah, no, boomer. I mean, look at boomers in Canada. They're extremely liberal. They're the most liberal age generation. Crazy because a lot of those young white left-wing guys are probably well, young white dudes are mainly conservative, but I mean, males in general are conservative. Look at the dynamics between males and females. Being a conservative, it tends to be, you know, more appealing to men, with a more masculine thing. You thought boomers were traditionally conservative, was always confused when people said they were liberal? Yeah, they recently went liberal. They were conservative. The older people were always conservative. But it's changed. Just like Gen Z being more conservative. Is it just me or are all the boomers living forever? Well, I mean, generations, you know, it's a long period of time, each generation. What would it take in terms of resources to shut down the border if possible? Well, I mean, shut down the border in terms of absolutely no one coming into the country from Mexico, are you talking about? I mean, I can't logistically tell you the exact amount of money it would take to do that. They've basically shut down the border in terms of, in comparison to what we've ever seen, where it's like 7,000 people now in terms of border interactions. But I mean, there's a difference between shutting down the border versus deporting all the people that have already entered the country. But the problem is, dude, our immigration system is so fucked because some of these people are on like illegitimate. It's all these asylum claims. They'll just claim asylum from anywhere, and it's a claim, and it's more advantageous for a lot of these immigrants to do that because they got a better chance than just illegally coming in without anyone knowing to go for an asylum claim. And that's what liberals argue, like, oh, they're all asylum claimers. Yeah, that's the same exact thing. It's probably worse, honestly, because then they get taxpayer money spent on them to house them. And then they try and argue that, oh, they make us money because they pay taxes. No. The amount of welfare, just the amount of resources it takes, they lose the government a lot of money, illegals do. The guy on the right's 40 to 42. And he looks like he's like maybe 49, 55, maybe something like that. An emergency Fed cut they're talking about. I don't know if that's an overreaction based on, you know, the markets right now or what. Because obviously people are going to overreact. There's still time for a ceasefire before millions of people get hurt. Is he talking about the Middle East? Trump just posted tariffs are here to stay on Truth Social. You would gladly increase your land tax to shut it down. Well, I mean, there's shutting it down and then there's removing all the illegals already in the country. It costs a lot of money to do that, and all the false asylum claims as well. You'll go check crypto really quick. I would say not to do that if yeah, look at the charts. You just see it right here. Oh man, 7% for Bitcoin in 24 hours is not great. Man, Ethereum under 1600. I guess we shouldn't really be too surprised about Ethereum. Just Ethereum at this point is going to go under 1,000, imagine. No, it can't. XRP kind of holding up. Well, 12%. But it's 188. It's not terrible. Doge is under 15 cents. Recession coin ticker weed don't fade. Dude, you gotta stop. You think you're like this know-it-all because you get like the one coin right. But no, I mean, maybe you'll be right. Good luck, man. Israel doesn't want a ceasefire. They won't stop until Palestinians are gone. Well, no, I agree. I don't know what he's talking about here. They obviously are not going to accept a two-state solution. Two of the Final Four coaches are dual citizens of a very special country. Still want Florida to win for Duke. But they're dual citizens of Israel. Bitcoin is not cooked. Come on. Don't overreact. I mean, Bitcoin's held up really well compared to the market turmoil. But I mean, with it going down like it did today, the market's not going to do well tomorrow. There's no way. What's my blue sky handle? Dude, I don't have a blue sky. You've seen worse than that. Remember, Bitcoin went from $0 to this current price, just 16. What are you talking about? Were you in Bitcoin in 2009? Thoughts on the Minecraft movie? I never seen it. It looked really disturbing. Like those things in real life, it's just disturbing to look at. It's an odd imagery. I don't know, man. With this Israel stuff coming out, we'll see if it comes out within this week and what Trump wants to do. But now you've got the situation with Palestine, the situation with Iran. Are there cryptos that will still pay a yield for holding? Yeah, you can get paid. It's you can get paid, but I mean, I never do that though. You bet our politics is insufferable. Yeah, I'm sure it's all hating about Trump in the stock market. I mean, the stock market's like 88% of the assets are owned by 10%. But look, I mean, that is whatever. I think the stock market will be fine eventually, but it is turmoil. San Antonio, Texas for Trump 2028. And we understand, man. Listen, we get it, all right? We're not going to sit here and talk about Trump 2028 right now, though. Come on. You don't understand how I can be so educated about 9/11 yet appear to support Zion Don? Well, because there's other issues outside of Israel. There's other issues, man. XRP bouncing, so BTC strongest coins lately. XRP, yeah, it seems like XRP and BTC are relatively strong. Well, obviously BTC is a different animal. Netanyahu by the end of the term is definitely going to be Trump's most visited guy. Didn't even come many times first term. Well, this is already his second visit. Second visit in 3 months, 3.5 months. You're throwing over 400,000 at some stocks. 400K, come on. I mean, you'll make some money. You've had that kind of money to do that, but deploying 400K. Assad has blackmail on Trump. I mean, Trump is very, yeah, Trump, you know, it's obvious Trump treats Israel different than every other country. I mean, look at the contrast between Ukraine and Israel in terms of their wars and just, I mean, we basically abandoned Ukraine and then they had to renegotiate everything to get them to, are we still support? I don't even know. Are we still sending Ukraine money? It's a weird thing because we stopped sending them money, but then he was like, well, we're going to start again because we're going to do a minerals deal. But then the minerals deal didn't happen. But then apparently because they decided not to do the ceasefire, we're giving them military reports. I don't know if we're giving them any money at this point, Ukraine. I don't think so. You should put all the 400K into Bitcoin. I mean, you might get a 2.5x for, you know, with Bitcoin dropping recently. It's as a cycle high. If we still have a bull run, you get like a 2.5x. You know, Amazon is just in the fucking shitter right now. I'm sorry for there was a double swearing, but Amazon is down really bad. People talk about Candace and Ian obsessed with Israel, but talk about Stu Peters, who makes Candace, Ian, and Fuentes look amateur. Yeah, I have seen clips of him, and it's, you know, it's Israel 24/7. You understand 50 countries want to negotiate with Trump, but outside of the UK, Vietnam, Israel, Canada, how many prominent countries and not random countries in Africa? Well, I mean, I would assume it's a mix. I mean, that's a good question. I would assume it's a mix, but we don't even know the total number. I mean, they said over 50. So I don't know. I mean, I would imagine pretty much everyone wants to negotiate with Trump to a degree, but Trump's not going to really want to negotiate with them because Trump does, you know, it seems like the plan is to use this tariff strategy to bring in domestic production to the country as well as get revenue from the tariffs. I mean, that's what it seems like. It doesn't seem like this is just, oh, let's renegotiate everything to get us better trade deals and take all the tariffs off of our products. But I think that's what it's going to have to be with some countries. But I mean, it's a good question. But I think everyone would probably want to negotiate with the United States because of how big of a buyer we are. Your opinion on what America's biggest threat? You think it's Israel? Well, it's definitely with the, you know, things that we can't see. It's not, you're not going to name a country and say that's America's biggest threat. It's a lot more nuanced than that. But I mean, I know what you mean by Israel. But I'm just saying, you know, that would be more like a blackmail thing. We're not going to say, oh, Canada's our biggest, or China's our biggest threat, or Russia's our biggest threat. It's a lot more interconnected than that. You support the tariffs 100%, keep them on 24/7. Yeah, well, I mean, there are some certain products that, you know, we're just not going to be able to produce at the level that other countries are. But no, I hear you, man. And I was thinking that Trump just probably just said, you know what, fuck this. We're just going to tariff all these countries. We don't, I mean, dude, you see what it's been reported. It's been reported Trump, and this isn't surprising based on the amount of tariffs that were placed. I mean, on everyone. He consulted with like very close advisors and told everyone to F off. And the tariffs are happening. And then he decided like 3 hours before putting them on the actual rates, and it's based off of the trade deficit. If anyone attacks the U.S., nobody would help. Nobody would be dumb enough to attack the United States. It's all fought through proxy with other countries. You're gonna attack the lower 48? Really? It's such a horrible trade-off for any country. How long till stocks go back up? Well, I think there's going to have to be a recovery period. A lot of this depends on Trump's next move in terms of his communication with the tariffs and, you know, how much negotiations we have with these countries to remove some of the tariffs, how much tariffs stay in place. But it'll be a little while, and I mean, Monday's going to be a negative, and at a certain point, they're going to have to start to recover. You genuinely fear someone will be successful on their attempt on. I know these people just hate Trump so much. I know, but I mean, what can you do? There's really nothing we can do. But I mean, Trump has great security. That's really all you can say. Can Trump be Speaker of the House? I think he can be, even after 2 terms. Do you think anyone could attack Canada, especially in the North? Well, our relationship with Canada, well, we just wouldn't allow it. It's North America. So Canada knows that, and that's why there's this weird relationship, and they're protected by the United States, and all the other countries know that as well. And also, they're protected by Alaska. I mean, you know, with where Alaska is located, they're like insulated. And then to their east would be Greenland, which may be a U.S. territory, but it's like it's a Western country that NATO would protect. You're planning on buying more stocks tomorrow and this week due to the market being down. It's a great buying opportunity. No, I agree. It is a good buying opportunity. It's like, you know, this is like the COVID situation. It's so obvious. Obviously, things are not going to stay down for this long, and it's just this turmoil with these tariffs and with Trump being very coy about announcing them and where and how long they're going to stay on and things like that. Canadians on X said they are moving troops to the border with American. With what? Similar to how Russia did to Ukraine? What are they insinuating? They're going to fight us? They're delusional. Don't buy into falling knife. Yeah, I can understand that. Maybe wait for recovery. But I mean, you know, it's one of those things to where you're probably going to get it at a good price even if it falls further. Do liberal YouTube channels get more views, etc., than conservative ones? It just depends, I think. Depends on the topics that are being covered and things like that. I've seen huge liberal channels. I've seen huge conservative channels. Canada would get wrecked in a war in 2 hours. I don't think they would attempt to fight. Hard to tell about liberal channels. They're full of bots. There's a lot of liberals that bot their likes on X. I mean, I'm sure conservatives do it as well, but you know, it becomes obvious some of these tweets. And then some dude said the market's going to drop 90% or it could drop. Yeah, I think that's when you know there's a lot of fear. It's a lot, you know, fear and greed. Fear has got to be winning out. What is fear and greed at? Like one or two? I don't know. Is that on here? It might be actually at the bottom of this. $30,000 outfit. Yeah, this guy is just so, I mean, come on, man. From the river to the sea, that's... How's grade 3 doing it? I don't know. Probably not very well. I don't know. You see these clips like this, like... Maybe I need like a detox off of this shit. It's just all the same tired bullshit. Warren Buffett, yeah, they've been saying. Hey, Warren Buffett took his money out of the market. Plus 12.7 billion in the last year. I mean, Musk still has a sizable lead. These are all the known, the doxed rich people, the, you know. Even Maher, with his own TDS, has to admit Trump is effective. Well, Maher is the, you know, he does the both sides and stuff, and I guess I can respect that. But you can see through these people really easily when they do their grifts of like, well, you know, Maher's always going to be a liberal, but he'll visit with Trump and try and talk to him. It's not like this crazy cult thing. And, you know, when you're, I guess it depends what you do, but a lot of these liberals have to at least be able to communicate. Rather than, I mean, you see him at the rallies, it's this constant, you know, Trump's a fascist, Trump, I mean, this is all the same stuff they said during the election, or before the election, and Trump won everything. Yeah, well, I mean, look, I understand, you know, with capitalism and everything like that, but you come out and Hassan, you know, Hassan said that, and this is something that a lot of these people think. They're like, well, we're really communist, but we have to say we're socialist. Because you know, socialism is like a neuter version of communism in a sense. So, yeah, they try and push as like these socialist type people. I mean, but you'd never be able to push any, really, I mean, socialism is such a radioactive thing in the United States. Nobody likes it. Communism is next level. Warren Buffett has a ton of cash on the sidelines of his portfolio, waiting to buy more. And we'll see if he buys this week. I mean, that would be a really bullish sign. Rabid response. I mean, what the fuck would rabid response say right now? I think they're probably talking about Trump.
I do want to solve the deficit problem that we have with China, with the European Union and other nations. And they're going to have to do that. And if they want to talk about that, I'm open to talking. But otherwise, why would I want to talk? And as you know, because of the tariffs, we have $7 trillion already committed to be invested in the United States, building auto plants, building companies and all sorts of companies are coming into our country at levels that we've never seen before. Biden had nothing coming in. This was a dead country with Biden. He didn't know what he was doing, and that's now been proven.
So Trump is standing by the tariffs. He wants the crazy deficit with the EU and China to be fixed, according to him. And the tariffs are going to be remaining on. Someone said 1,000 people are watching. Well, guys, please like the video if you're watching. That's a lot of people. Normally, I don't get that. Normally, it's around 400 to 500 people. So if you're watching, please like the video. I think probably because of this tariff stuff, people want to know. We'll take a look at this.
The market has spoken when they look at the fact that we have $1 billion trade deficit. When you look at the trade deficit that we have with certain countries, way over $1 billion per country. But with China, it's $1 trillion. And we have to solve our trade deficit with China. We have $1 trillion trade deficit with China. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year we lose with China. And unless we solve that problem, I'm not going to make a deal. Now, I'm willing to deal with China, but they have to solve their surplus. We have a tremendous deficit problem with China. They have a surplus of at least $1 trillion a year. I think it's like $1.1 trillion. And I want that solved. And no other president's taken it on. I had to take it on the last time. And then we had a rigged election. No other president's taken it on. And so China is, they say the market's spoken. China is right now taking a big hit because everyone knows we're right. They have to pay tariffs because otherwise we have a surplus, and they have a surplus with us that is not sustainable.
Mr. President.
And we're talking about $1 trillion. You know that, right? We're not going to lose $1 trillion for the privilege of buying pencils from China.
Right. The issue is they don't have the purchasing power that we do, so it'd be hard to... But I know what he's saying. I mean, we have a crazy deficit with them. It does seem like he's starting to talk about the deficit because that's really what it is. It's not reciprocal tariffs. It's the deficit that we have with China and the fair trade, the free trade. It's obviously the countries are operating with different laws, so it can never be exactly fair trade. So do I think 2020, the election was rigged? Well, I think there was a lot of weird things that happened in the 2020 election. I mean, I can't, it's like the 2020 election was a complete shit show. China GDP bleeding right now. I mean, it has to. The reliance they have on the United States, it's catastrophic for them. All anyone talks about is the reaction and the effect the tariffs have on our stock market. But look at China, it cannot have a good... I mean, China, it's got to be catastrophic. But it is a little bit different because he's tariffing everyone, not just China. Thoughts on the whole speed China ass? Well, you're talking about like the propaganda? Yeah, that was obviously a propaganda thing the Chinese put on for young people. So you get this like popular streamer from the United States going to China, and they give him all this shit, like cool shit, technology to try out. But they make it so obvious, though. But I guess it doesn't matter. You know where the Department of Education is in terms of dismantlement? Is it totally going down, or do you think... Well, I think they're keeping things in place in terms of... I know some of the funding for some of those special needs programs, things like that, are all staying when it comes to that. Because obviously, there's a lot of the federal money that's given to that. And they're trying to nip some of it. I mean, listen, it was created and the test scores got worse. Now, there's a number of things that there's a number of components within that have to be addressed. It's not just the Department of Education, but obviously if there's a lot of money being spent on this and it's actively creating a worse situation for our kids, it's just not a good idea to continue it. Yeah, I saw that Nintendo pushed back pre-orders on Switch. There is a Switch too. Yeah, I remember the Nintendo Switch. Now they're doing another one. I remember the Wii. Remember the Wii in like 2007. That was dude. The Wii was like, it was like the god console. I don't remember a hype for even like a PS4 or PS. There was a lot of hype for the PS3. I don't remember a ton of hype for the Xbox One, honestly. The Xbox One kind of felt like, even though I've only ever had Xbox One kind of felt a little tame. 360 was a little bit too young. It was like 2006 maybe, a little bit too young. But the Wii, oh my god, everyone had to get a Wii. Where's Nissan Stadium? What, the new one that they're building? Wasn't possible to buy a Wii. That's what I'm saying. The hype around the Wii was just crazy. Wii U was a flop. Yeah, then they make like the second, third generation of it. The the U, the Nintendo Switch, all this other stuff. Wii Sports Resort. No, I don't think I had Resort. I think I just had Wii Sports. Everyone had Wii Sports, like, came with the console. Wii Sports Golf. The bowling, I thought. The bowling was really popular. Huge protests yesterday. Yeah, it's all just complete psyop bullshit. I mean, there's like 90-year-old people at these protests. But they've got, I want to see the one, I want to see if I can find that one video of the doll. It's like this fat lady in a wheelchair, and like she's supposed to be Israel, and then it's like Trump on a dog leash behind her, and Musk on the other side. It's just like they're just weird. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. You know, there's so many videos of this. We're about to witness the biggest stock market crash in history. A prophecy from the Holy Spirit. God bless you all. God warns his children. Well, I appreciate the message. I don't think it's going to be the biggest, you know, I think maybe overreaction there. It's not going to be the biggest stock market crash in history. Let's try and find that one. Like, what is this?
2 days ago, General Motors Corporation announced that they were expanding vehicle production in the United States, in the state of Indiana, for the first time in about 25 years.
What? Why didn't they just, you know, with liberals, it's like, well, the tariffs don't work. How is this possible?
Yesterday, the jobs report came out saying that 228,000 jobs were added to the U.S. economy, more than all economists had predicted, which was about half of that amount. Finally, someone is taking care of business. The U.S. government is...
You asked me about, what was that one thing? What was that one thing I wanted to respond to? Oh, you asked me about the gold card? Yeah, dude, there's some problems with the gold card. The problem is, you got to be really rich to get a gold card. If it's $5 million, you're dropping it on a citizenship thing, and it's a lot of foreign. I mean, you're bringing in foreign money. You're bringing in people that are, you know, from other countries that obviously have serious power because they're rich. So there's trade-offs in terms of it. I mean, it is just pure revenue for the government, though. I don't know how many Trump will sell. He said they sold like 50 billion or like $5 billion worth, I think. What are they protesting about? Just random Trump. Just they don't like Trump, I guess. They think mainly it's like Musk being in Trump's administration is the main stuff. And so they call Trump. I mean, I don't know why they call Trump a fascist though. How is he a fascist if he won? He was elected. He won every swing state. He won the popular vote. You lost $0 in the stock market? Yeah, well, I mean, I lost some money, but not in the stock market. But you lose money. It's like, well, If you don't sell it, you don't lose it. It is cope, but it is true. He sold 1,000 of them. Gold cards. Yeah, it was reported he sold a decent amount. Gold card is smart. The millionaires won't be terrorists. I mean, I guess it's money infusion. There was a protest in France about Le Pen getting being banned from running.
I just realized they're warmer in there too.
I mean, this has got to be paid for. This doesn't even look real, like close to being. It's like they all practice this and then they're like, take your places. Just all old people.
I just realized they're
Just all old people. Stop the billionaire takeover. That doesn't even make sense. The Democratic Party has way more billionaire influence than the Republican Party. So how does that work? And I know Musk is because Musk is part of the administration, and George Soros and Pritzker and all the others are not part of the, but they get way more money than us. So if they're making, I mean, they always get more donations. They have more money. They have more ads. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense to say something like that. No cuts to VA. Have you seen some of the stuff that's come out about that? About how it's just, I mean, I don't even know how this is possible, but it's going to outprice the defense budget. Hands off Social Security. There's not going to be any Social Security left. They haven't even said they're going to do anything. This is the craziest thing. Trump has never once said he's going to cut Social Security. Neither did Elon Musk. Didn't either. They're saying, well, we have to look at Social Security because the program cannot pay for itself because we don't have the workers. Old people are living longer. There's not enough workers. We have to look at it. And they've kind of parlayed it into whole, they're taking away the Social Security. Well, are we supposed to try and, we have to try and do something. I mean, it's, so you can't even you can't even try and tackle the Social Security problem. You'll just immediately get called to, oh, you're going to take all of our Social Security away. Every single person is white, and it is crazy. Where's the diversity? I thought this was the party of diversity. It's all old, rich, all old boomers that have like 401ks, and they're all in stocks, and they You saw a video there paid some yellow. I mean, some of them are paid. Definitely the organizers are paid. No doubt about that. But there's a lot of people to be coming to these for them to be paid. I mean, some of these people just watch mainstream media. I mean, how hard is it to really believe that there's so much Trump hate that these people would show up to these? These people are real. They do hate Trump to the core. There were a lot of protests in Utah, apparently. You know, people would say Utah is getting more liberal. I mean, it makes sense if they get transplants from California, but people are talking about that. It was like the election also was it was surprising there was barely any shift for Utah when the entire country shifted right. I mean, Utah, Colorado, you know, Las Vegas, although it hasn't really affected in terms of the elections, but Las Vegas is getting a lot of Cali transplants, maybe some conservative. Happy Sunday, Irish brother. White liberal boomers are quite possibly. Hey, man, I appreciate that. The biggest domestic detriment to our country. They're the apex of traitors. Well, I mean, it is surprising. Listen, if you're a political party, you would rather have the young people, so I guess it's a positive. But it is pretty crazy how quickly it's shifted with these boomers. But now it's like I think I wonder, just in terms of just overall parties, if liberals have control of the boomers now. But I guess you would rather have the younger people anyways. I mean, in Canada, it's remarkable. The most liberal people in Canada are old. Dude, I just got hit with like this crazy waft over me that you're just like so tired now. Just a weird.
Hey friends, I just passed the Dunkin' Donuts, which is the most vague possible location I could possibly give you in Massachusetts. But besides being near a Dunkin' Donuts, which places me somewhere in Massachusetts, I mentioned I'm at the Hands Off Boston March, and it is the slowest march I have ever been in, and I could not be more happy about that, because that means that the streets...
I just can't keep listening. I mean, it's just it's the destruction of a society. Like, you see stuff like this, it's... Drink some juice. I don't know. I need caffeine. Problem with politics is everyone thinks they know everything and don't understand nuance. Then they try to push an agenda they aren't even aware of. And that's something with history that's so important as well. You make a good point, but also one of the things you realize, you start studying history, you know, understanding time periods and the context, the historical context, it's a big deal. And I start seeing it with World War II with some of these people. I'm not saying I know a ton about, you know, I do know a decent amount about World War II, but some of these people just lack historical context and they take things out of... Did you guys see Dave Smith? I mean, you know, they're starting to do this where it's like Churchill is the #1 enemy of World War II and stuff, and I just think it lacks historical context. I mean, obviously it's very complicated, but... Sean, what's up? The whale enters. All these non-producing people make me sick. MAGA, keep going, and Trump gets it done. Sean, I appreciate it. Whatever it takes. What's up, man? What's going on? What's the greatest contribution to liberals? education, Hollywood, social media, pot. Well, it depends. I mean, obviously, older liberals, the party's evolved into a far more left-wing. I mean, even go back to 2007, 2008, it's remarkable how left-wing liberals have gotten. And, how can it be refuted? Look at Clinton in the 90s. But, I mean, both parties have had their issues. W. Bush was bad as well. You think Newsom is going to be front runner for 2028? Probably not. West Virginia anti-Trump protest. What a small town in West Virginia, 70-year-olds go out on a Saturday afternoon. Did Trump screw us? Question mark. In what sense? There's going to be economic turmoil with these tariffs, man. They're widespread. So there's going to be some turmoil. The markets are going to be down for a bit. Bill Clinton was actually a good president, except for the scandal. We had I mean, he went after welfare. And the budget did get balanced. I mean, obviously, but he was a lot more of a moderate Democrat, even by the 90s standard. So now, that's one busload of people. I mean, but these people do exist, man. They do. It's just, they just hate. It's just the, Rachel Maddow, CNN. You can't spell hatred without red hat. Wow. You just got me. You got us, man. Your stockbroker told me that it's actually a time to buy everything, even though there could be a falling knife situation. Luckily, you got a paid house and portfolio to use as collateral. Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely, when there's blood in the water like this, when it's obvious, when there's obvious buying situations like this, even if it is falling knife, you're catching it at a low point anyways. I mean, we don't know what Trump's going to do with the tariffs in the next week or two. It's impossible to predict, but
market, at some point you're unwilling to tolerate this idea of a Trump put. Is there a threshold?
I think your question is so stupid. I mean, I think it's I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. And we have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen. They took our businesses, they took our money, they took our jobs, they moved it to Mexico, they moved it to Canada, they moved a lot of it to China, and it's not sustainable. We're not going to do it. Now we have hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country on a monthly.
A lot of the protesters are migrants. That's impossible. They're all white. I mean, the ones I'd say, a lot of them are white. They're illegal immigrants from the UK. they're white Brits. They're redcoats from the UK illegally migrating here to protest Trump. Florida versus Houston, who you got? I got Houston. I need Houston to win for my bracket. Like, look at my bracket, 87 percentile. But if Houston wins, it's going to... I mean, because what is the championship game? What is the total? Wait. No, I didn't pick Florida. I picked Houston against Auburn. Yeah. But if I get this, then I'll definitely be in the at least in the 95th percentile, I think. Have you seen the clip from the 2000s of Hillary Clinton saying we should basically do the same thing Trump is doing now? Yeah, well, Hillary and Obama, there's been clips circulating about them, and Pelosi as well. I saw one of Pelosi. So, yeah, but I mean, what they'll say is, well, you have to target the tariffs. You can't do a blanket 10% tariff on everything. You know, liberals admit that strategical tariffs do work, but the problem is they really haven't been working, or we haven't been utilizing them the way we should, because that's really our only production against these other countries undercutting our prices. But I mean, we'll see what Trump does with negotiating with some countries and potentially taking some of them off. Do you think the markets will cool down a bit? Well, I mean, this is literally the worst timing right now because Trump just announced it. It was more than expected, so the market is absorbing the loss. It's like a shock loss, and then also we don't know what Trump's going to do next. So once everything becomes more known, and then we get the Fed cut, looks like multiple Fed cuts within the next few months. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more bullish opium. Yeah, no, that's a good point. The numbers we use for trade policy on other countries against us is not solely based on tariff percentages. Well, right, it's not. They pitched it as reciprocal, but it's trade deficit, but also non-tariff barriers in place, VATs. I've told people about the VATs and currency manipulation. Yeah, there's a number of things that they do that other countries will do that aren't technically tariffs, but they make it harder for the U.S. to compete in these markets. So it's more nuanced than just, oh, Trump lied about the tariffs. Well, they have the VATs, they have currency manipulation, they've got other things that make it harder for us to compete in foreign markets. At the same time, Elon wants low-skilled workers from India with H-1B visas, illegal immigration. But so does replacement immigration. Yeah, no, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and that was definitely a critique of Musk. It's like he's doing a double speak here with the H-1Bs. Musk, his point never made any sense with H-1Bs. The thing that Musk was describing was O-1 visa holders. It's like extremely elite people that get here that meet certain requirements to where they get the O-1 visas. And so Musk is like, well, we need all these elite people, so we need the H-1Bs. Well, the H-1Bs are not elite people. That's not that program. That's the O-1 program. So, to me, that's why that never made any sense with what Musk was saying about how we need all these H-1Bs and things like that. But I think Musk would say, well, it's not that many people on the H-1B. But obviously, when you've already got so many millions of illegals into the country already, this immigration is not going to be, the base is not going to tolerate it when you start talking about H-1B visas. And we know why these billionaires want it, because they can grunt work these immigrants into the ground. And they've got all the leverage over them. How do you approach the tariff topic with people that are skeptical or hostile? Well, people are angry because their portfolios are down. I think that's probably the most. You either hate Trump and you're just using this as, oh, see, the markets suck, Trump's terrible, or they're just angry, pissed off because they're they don't have as much perceived money because the stocks are down. That's mainly what it is. But I mean, you have to explain to the people the crazy deficit that we have with China. I think but even that, I mean, the people don't want to accept it. Yeah, it's 3 to 4% still. It's a seller's market. You don't want to buy a house. Oh, of course it's a seller's market. It's been a seller's market. I mean, it depends what city you're in. Housing prices differ, but in general, yeah. You know, one of the things I've been seeing is a lot of these homes are being built really cheaply. You'll find like a 400K brand new home, 450K. They'll do an inspection on it. It's like a TikTok video or Instagram short. There's all these problems with the home. There's already leaks. Things aren't sealed properly. There's a door hinge off. I mean, there's shoddy construction as well. You know, they're like mass producing all these like 400K homes, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath in suburban cities, and it's just the construction is terrible. Maybe that'll change without the illegal immigration construction. People who are pissed are all of a sudden tariff experts and don't understand the press. Yeah, I agree with you. Well, the thing that they would argue against, like the whole Biden whataboutism, I mean, I don't think Trump had Trump took over a country that had a high interest rate and high inflation relative. I mean, it was still high. So, I mean, those are not good factors to take over. But and also a lot of lies when it comes to the jobs, when it comes to other things. But the issue is that Trump is, I mean, this is because of Trump. I mean, this market drop, you know, you could say, well, it's all fake money. It was all printed, but it's like, you know, this is a direct reaction to the tariffs. So people are obviously going to be pissed. But I mean, it is what it is. We knew there was going to be a drop immediately. It's a long-term play. It just, will it work out with how aggressive Trump has been with all of these countries getting hit with them? Where's Epic City? That Muslim city? It's in Texas. Fear and greed is at extreme fear. Yeah, that's when you want to buy it. Yeah. Whenever it's at extreme fair. I mean, obviously it was going to be at extreme fair. This is a pretty crazy drop. No one cares about the stock market unless you're a rich investor, but it also goes like the overall economic health of the country. But I mean, I agree. I think it's over embellished, and it's just used as a tool by both sides when it's up. You know, it's like it's just a grade of the economy. Biden's is this generation's Jimmy Carter. Yeah, one term. But Biden is even like, to me, Biden will just be such like a impossible to grade because there's just nothing. There was nothing there with Biden. You know, they always talk about like his infrastructure deal and some of the things he passed. I don't know. I mean, the situation he took over was also very bad. It wasn't really caused by Trump. They'll say it was because Trump didn't take the virus seriously. I mean, Trump got fucked by the virus, man. He got fucked. How do you have to shut the country down and then 8 months later have an election? Like, good luck. And that was the thing that Trump really had, was a decent economy as an incumbent before COVID. All of the new houses are massive. Yeah, there aren't a lot of starter homes being built. It's, you know, if you want like it's more a rental type thing. You gotta, it's like a townhome, or there's not a ton of starter homes being built. Love the work Asmongold is doing as an opener to right wing politics to normies. What, on Twitch you're saying? I mean, I don't watch Twitch. Sometimes I'll see clips of him, but I mean, yeah, I guess he gets tons of viewers and stuff. So, and you know, he passes as kind of like, you know, they do the Joe Rogan thing where like, well, we're right wing on. They don't want to be pigeonholed into a specific, you know, worldview. They say, well, we're conservative on a lot of this stuff, and then liberal on a few other things, and so that's what they do. Which, I mean, I understand that, I get it, and it's not like every single viewpoint of mine is in agreement with you know, Trump and just Republicans in general. But it is a little bit weak when you do that. There is a weakness to it. But I mean, I get, you know, you can't have 100% agreement in views, but there's a difference with some of these people do, and they detach themselves in certain ways. So. Fake murder involving a sex doll. I never seen that, man. In Germany? I never seen that. Your generation doesn't really have a lot to invest in the market anyways due to cost of living. Rent, housing alone is outrageous. I know that's kind of the narrative. That's I mean, Gen Z is like, yeah, let it crash, basically. Especially the housing market. Rent, I think it's city dependent. It depends on the city. Some cities are outrageous with rent, obviously. Trump said everything's going according to plan. He doesn't seem worried at all. Well, no, I mean, he believes in this plan in terms of this, but he did kind of say a little bit, you know, he's talking about the trade deficit now. Originally, he was talking about reciprocal tariffs. Now he's talking about the trade deficit, which is really what it is. Nvidia dropping like crazy, and you know, it's not surprising with how highly valued it was. I mean, it was crazy market cap. The U.S. should prioritize long-term strategies to remain the dominant superpower. China has been playing the long game. That did seem like AI. I'm not accusing you of AI. It just did seem like it. China has been playing the long game and eventually is planning to surpass the U.S. Well, I mean, the thing that you can't get caught up in the comparison with China. Whether or not they pass us, it's kind of a fool's thing. I mean, their population is way bigger than ours. But I know what you're saying. Like, we don't want them to have complete dominance. But that's where the whole thing where they'll say, well, we need more immigrants so we can stay past China. Well, we're not going to sacrifice. I mean, maybe we already have sacrificed it. But it's the idea is we're not going to sacrifice our culture so we can stay ahead of the Chinese. I mean, they just have a way bigger population than us. But I mean, we'll see if this ends up working out for Trump. I think he's trying to squeeze China, obviously. And then he said, well, maybe China can negotiate with us. I think there'll be negotiations. I do. You think he framed it as reciprocal tariffs to pull out the announcement? Yeah, I mean, I guess, but he had to know that people were gonna know. But I mean, I guess maybe. How long until Rosie comes back? She got they freaking deported her. They deported her from Ireland. She got kicked out of Dublin. Now she's staying with Ellen in the UK. No, I'm kidding. UK has 20% VAT. Gets charged to the total value of the import, including cost to ship there and stuff. Yeah, they got a tax on it. They got a tax on all of our shit. Competing with China is competing with slave labor. Yeah, well, there's your free market. Well, you see how it's all gaslighting. Obviously, it's not free. I mean, they have different laws than us, so they can produce things for cheaper. And it's like, well, everything's going to go up. You're more invested in the inflation numbers, has an actual impact on your life. Yeah, well, I mean, inflation right now is down. I don't know with these tariffs how many are staying in place. I don't know how it's going to be affected by that. So I think we're going to get a good inflation number on the 10th, a really good inflation number, and then that's going to more pressure the Fed to drop the rates. You heard Amazon? There's a bunch of these companies trying to buy TikTok. Larry Ellison, I thought he's part of Oracle. Amazon, Microsoft, Walmart, Elon Musk, Rumble. Let's see this election. It's basically the same. And they're right at 172 seats, which is the majority. But I guess they've got several liberal parties there that would vote with them anyways. Israel, Middle Eastern action against Iran before July. 30% chance, 29% chance. Buck stocks, when is Ye dropping World War III? Did you see that with the KKK stuff? You like that? It's a little trashy, man. Rumble buying TikTok would be insane. Yeah, they must just put him up there. Note on the Middle Eastern markets, they have to put a disclaimer on Middle Eastern markets. Why do we need TikTok? I never been on. Yeah, I think that's what I was saying earlier in the stream. It's odd to me with TikTok. I don't know, man. People fighting in the chat. Really? I didn't even realize it. Polvier now only has a 28% chance. Should have kept his mouth shut about Trump. Oh well. But he's in an impossible spot, dude. What, you think him coming out against Trump was bad? I don't know. I think he kind of got screwed by Trump just in general. Like, what is he supposed to say? You have to come out and be, you're a conservative in Canada. You have to do the Canada first thing. You have to do, we're not going to give in to Trump. Because if he gives in to Trump, then it's even worse. You people have Trump cult syndrome. Yeah, we all love Israel. Twitter Corp X owns Vine. Why doesn't Elon just relaunch it? Yeah, rebrand it a little bit. Wasn't there a rumor of that? You're new to the tariff stuff and the economy. Is it going to hurt or help us? Well, it depends. Trump's strategy behind the tariffs, and I can't predict exactly what it's going to do because I don't know which tariffs Trump's going to keep on versus remove. I mean, hopefully we'll get more U.S. production. It could raise prices a little bit if we get it. He wants to trade the trade barriers and VATs down, not really about tariffs per se. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I guess I don't know if that's worth this disruption to do that, but I mean, I can understand that. But that's just renegotiating with every country you're talking about, like renegotiating with the EU, and then working out a new trade deal without barriers. Yeah, I think Trump probably wants Carney to win. You know, it's easier to deal with liberals, especially dealing with a conservative, and they've got that whole party with Canada first. You don't, other countries don't like that shit. They want you to be more pro, in a sense, like just pro everyone rather than pro their own country, which really they shouldn't vote for, but they do. Why are Subway sandwiches so expensive? Man, I can't tell you the last time I went to Subway. But Subway is, yeah, Subway ended up getting like $9, $10. I remember it's the cost of those sandwiches. Why did Vine ever shut down? I mean, I'm guessing the problem with Vine was there's no way to advertise on it. I mean, obviously now with TikTok they've solved all of that, and but Vine was like 7 seconds clips. How do you? It's hard. But I mean, Vine was very popular. Thoughts on Trump's golf tournament? Remember when he won one of the golf tournaments or something? I don't know. Florida versus Houston. Yeah, Houston was there was pretty good. Oh, there was really good value on Florida earlier in the year. Basically 50-50. It's a good national title game. That's how it should be. It's a 1.5 point spread. There must be a lot of price action on this. Yeah, I mean, it might be an emergency cut. We'll have to see. Everyone is like trying to have an instant hot take reaction because the market's been down the past few days. So they're like, well, they're gonna have to cut it immediately. They're trying to predict it. Nice 9/11 iceberg. Thank you. Yeah, that was a good video for me. Trump just had a +5 Daily Mail poll. Is that favorability? +5? I mean, I feel like his favorability. I mean, it's hard to see it really, just because this is how it is with normies and the economy. The sentiment's not good. When you've got an extreme fear sentiment, you probably approval rating's going to go down a little bit. But Trump has such a good loyal core. I don't even know the oh, this was the Canadian thing. Let me take a look at Real Clear. I have not looked at this in a while, but I think it's probably 50-50. And -2.1. Yeah, you're right. Daily Mail. Ipsos -10. When was that done? Through the second? Yeah, I mean, these updates may not go well for Trump if it's -2.1. I mean, approval 47.5. As long as it doesn't get on 40, it'll be fine. But these updates are probably not going to go well for Trump. It's just the reality of normies reacting to the market. Ipsos poll dragging. Yeah, there's a few other ones. I mean, Even Rasmussen has a -1. Don't they do daily polls? Yeah, they do. Favorability of everyone. Trump -4, Vance -4, exact same. Like Johnson -4, Hakeem Jeffries. Nobody knows who this dude is, so he's minus a half. Thune -4, nobody knows who he is. Schumer -20. Liberals hate Schumer now. Yeah, they want someone younger. When will the shitty polls be removed from Real Clear Politics? Which one are you which ones are you talking about? They're not going to remove any of those polls. When the markets recover, what's the next crying point? Well, I mean, we'll see what happens on, I believe, Tuesday. If you don't know, Netanyahu is going back to meet with Trump. There's going to be a lot of Palestinian people not happy. There might be a big problem with the Middle East with Iran, depending on what happens with the nuclear deal. But it's probably going to be revolving the Middle East. That's would be my guess. Trump is taking the stocks on purpose, right? Well, right, to get the Fed cuts. Australia has dropped ASX dropped 1.66% in the first 40 minutes of trade Monday morning. You're an Australian. So what time is there? What time is it there? 9:50 local time. It depends where you are in Australia, I guess. Dude, I don't know. It would be 9:44. This clock is 7 minutes ahead, and it's a digital clock on an iMac. I don't know why it's so ahead. It's not even synced properly for some reason. It's very odd. Malaysia calls for collective Southeast Asia tariff response. Yeah, well, weren't they gonna? Wasn't like China and Japan and South Korea gonna come together for a response or something? That's what I read somewhere. 10:43. China only has one time zone, Beijing time. Yeah, it makes the western side of China pretty effed up in terms of the time. In Iran, 5 a.m. Dude, you're actually you get up at 5 a.m. That's pretty crazy, man. Netanyahu probably wants to talk about Iran. Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, we'll see what Trump says. Remember the last time Trump met with him in the White House, Trump was like, yeah, we're going to basically annex Gaza and turn it into a resort. People are still worried about the stock shit. Well, it's just like a reflection of the sentiment, like in terms of the economic sentiment, basically. So that the people, I mean, Republicans and Democrats both use the market when it's up. It's like, well, Trump's doing a good job and stuff. And when it's just a sentiment like tool that you can use to argue on why Trump's terrible or good. Germany, London, Japan, and China stocks are tanking. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that. I've heard that across the board. I mean, our futures are tanking. This is the absolute. No, you can't call the bottom. I'm calling the bottom on Thursday. No. When Asian markets open, you'll get a preview. Well, didn't they halt trading in Japan? Their future trading? Japanese markets dropped 6 points. People forgot market was... Yeah, I mean, the market got destroyed during COVID, obviously. Look at this. Yeah, this is brutal, man. Yeah, this is the world. (9/11) Iceberg Part 2. Yeah, I know. There's probably dude, honestly, I could probably do a Part 3, a Part 4, if I wanted to, just because there's so much shit about that. I'm gonna do a video, I think, probably on the Titanic next, in relation to the Fed being created and stuff. Just look into it, do a video on it, because it's the Titanic anniversary coming up, I think. Yeah, the Titanic anniversary, like the 14th. Antarctica market's up. Imagine they did have that, and then and the total market cap was like 500K. Someone should make an Antarctica coin. Official Antarctica coin. I mean, it would be official because there's no actual Antarctica coin. And at least there's no Antarctica stocks. Or like an actual market in Antarctica. Titanic iceberg. Maybe that would be a good thing, because I could monetize that. The problem with these 9/11 videos is I can't really monetize them. And so it's like, god damn it, if the video ends up popping off. I mean, even that iceberg video that was 33 minutes long, it gets like 40K views. That's some good money that you're not able to receive. Greenland coin. A Greenland coin probably got just annihilated, bro. What happened to Greenland coin? It's got to be under 100K. It's actually holding up. It's down 22%. It's holding up. Honestly, it's holding up better than I thought it would. It's down and it's never coming back. No, I'm kidding. Still around. I mean, normally I stream for 2 hours. I'm not gonna shut off the stream a bit early. Gotta make money off 9/11 tragedy, like the media makes money every day off of tragedies. Come on, man. Titanic didn't sink, switched the ships and sank the Olympic on purpose. I'll be honest, man, that's completely wrong. I'll explain it to you. And listen, I used to study the Titanic. I studied the Titanic when I was younger. The Titanic and the Olympic were different ships. The Titanic was built after the Olympic. The Titanic received modifications to make it more enhanced and better than the Olympic, including an enclosed A-deck promenade. The ship is different. You can see the enclosed A-deck in the wreckage. The ships were different. They were fundamentally different. It's not identical ships. They're different ships. The porthole size was different as well in like the first class rooms. I'm being honest. This is all true. So when you say that, it's just not true. I'm sorry. And you can easily prove it. The ship was different. It was modified because they realized when you're on the Olympic, and you were going through the A deck promenade, there was too much. It was like a wind tunnel. So they enclosed half of it on the Titanic. You can all look this up. Less foreign reliance on energy offset the tariffs in terms of prices on everyday. Well, nobody really knows the exact reaction in terms of the prices on. I mean, there's going to be a slight price increase. It's not going to be as exaggerated as liberals are saying. There'll be an increase in sectors, but it's going to be offset. You're right. The energy is Trump's golden goose. It's gone down. Crude oil is down. These are better energy prices. So you're correct. Short-term pain for a long-term gain is a good thing for us. Yeah, that's the hope. I agree, and I think it's noble what Trump is doing. Honestly, I mean, the markets are going to suffer. It's going to be dragged. Trump just said, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to do this because we're not going to sit here and tussle with the Fed and wait 2.5 years for them to do something. So maybe we'll get an emergency cut, or we'll get a cut in May or June. I mean, it's good, and we're going to get multiple cuts. Stockton Rush. There's a name. Stockton Rush, remember? The submersible? You wish AOC ran? Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on the Titanic. And honestly, listen, there's some good theories about the Titanic, but the switch theory is, let me tell you guys, if you believe it, I'm sorry, it's impossible for it to be, unless it's just impossible for it to be true. It's just not physically possible. And if you say it, it's just not. Would there be a big pump in the market from cuts? Oh yeah, the markets would react amazing. Very bullish news when there's a cut. Do a video on the submersible implosion, the anniversary this summer. Lots of information. What is it, 2-year anniversary? Yeah, said they were going to do an investigation on that. You know, those investigations always take forever to complete. They always take years. I remember when that was big. Titanic and Olympic were both in the shipyard. They could have enclosed. Come on. No, because the Olympic, after the Titanic sank, still had an open. It's just not. It's not plausible. I mean, listen, you could go ahead and use that theory if the ships were identical. I would say, well, yeah, man, I can't prove it honestly unless I really looked into it. How long do you think crypto will tank? I mean, it's terrible market conditions. It's money flow. So the stocks tank, crypto tanks, the stocks tank. So everything needs to be settled. I mean, with crypto, you're just catching a falling knife. You're going to want to wait for a reversal with crypto. Russell Brand thoughts? Well, it seems like there's all these allegations that come up with these, like 20 or 30 years ago. It's just crazy. So, I don't know, but all of these allegations, it's always like 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago. There's a theory about, you're talking about hitting the iceberg dead on, but you know what he's going to do that. Come on. You're not going to purposefully just ram it right into. But I've also heard that would sink the ship faster if you did that. Depends, I guess. If you rammed it head on into the iceberg. Wouldn't it have been better if Trump announced the tariffs step by step? Well, I mean, he kind of did, honestly. He first announced tariffs against China, Canada, and Mexico. But, I mean, when you're talking about, like, just... honestly, it would probably create more of an issue because you're talking about, like, multiple months of economic turmoil because the tariffs keep going into place on different countries. Just got home from Blockbuster. That's impressive, man. The last Blockbuster that is in existence, isn't there like one left? Isn't there a statute of limitations? Well, that's the thing with Trump. It can only be civil charges, I think, but I don't know the exact. But I think that's why Trump got like civil charges. Because E. Jean Carroll accused him of things that were like 20 years ago. What's your thoughts on Dem Twitter making these 2028 Dem landslide prediction maps against Vance? Been seeing them a lot. Well, which candidate do they use? I mean, they have no leader. So, I mean, it's hopium, they do it, so okay. They were making the same maps on November 2nd, 3 days before the election. How'd that turn out for him? Japan stocks down 12%. You're so tired of hearing about January 6th. I think they kind of shut up about it after Trump won. I mean, what's the argument? The electorate saw the January 6th and then they voted for Trump. Nice haircut, looks good. Yeah, I got a haircut. I mean, I debate the haircuts and getting them and stuff, but if your sides get like pointed out, I used to think I had a decent when I had volume on my sides, but now I think it looks like shit. I don't know. Most guys, it looks like shit when you have volume on the sides. They used J.B. Pritzker. He probably ate some of the electoral votes. Maybe that's why Vance didn't have that many. Just a low-rag joke. just a pathetic joke by me. Do you think Trump knew the stock market was going to fall? Absolutely, he knew. I mean, now, I don't know to the extent he thought. You can't predict an exact percentage it's going to fall, but he knew it was going to fall. Will the bull run be delayed until 2026? Well, because of the market conditions. I mean, the market conditions can still improve within crypto within 2 or 3 months. Especially with Bitcoin. I mean, it's not like Bitcoin has completely collapsed. It hasn't. Still at, what, 77K? Yeah, I did see that clip with Cuban where he's just like, Cuban is trying like to repair his image and it just comes off as bad.
Tell us and remind us why you were so supportive of Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party, considering how chaotic things looked, and we ultimately learned that side of the aisle was.
Because she wasn't Donald Trump.
Simple as plain? Just that simple? If it were anybody else other than Donald Trump, let's say, for example, it was Nikki Haley. Let's say, for example, it was Ron DeSantis or Chris Christie, even of Vivek Ramaswamy or somebody. Are you saying that?
Ask him why he deleted all of his campaign rally bullshit propaganda for Kamala right after the election. Ask him that.
You may have thought differently?
I voted for Nikki Haley in the Texas primary.
I got you. So you would have voted for her for presidency if she had won the Republican nomination?
There was a lot more to learn.
Where are the glasses?
You can't just, jump based off of what was happening to the point of the primaries. I didn't agree with everything she said, but I certainly would have considered it. And look, I like Kamala. I don't want to throw her under the bus.
Sure.
I think she's smarter than people give her credit for, but I think she was really held back by her team. They would not let her do just basic things that would have made a lot of difference.
He's like simping for Kamala still. Like, dude, give it up. Oh, come on, man. It's over. That's been long gone. What's your favorite Lego set? Where did yours go? Well, I still have the Twin Towers and everything, but the Twin Towers had to be moved because I had shelves back here. There's no shelves now. But probably the favorite Lego set ever. Like an actual Lego set. Maybe the Death Star. I remember when I was younger building the Death Star. That was a massive set. It had like brackets. It was such a big instruction manual. What'd you think of the Boston protests? You sat on YouTube all day and laughed your ass off while they were getting rained on. Meanwhile, Trump's still the president. Yeah, I don't really have any care for any of the protests. It doesn't bother. I mean, if they got like 2 million people together, that would be a spectacle. But they do all these protests where it's like, oh, 10K people, 3K. None of it matters. It's all irrelevant. The Twin Towers are still intact. The Twin Tower Lego set is still intact. I did it. Little joke there, I guess you have. Nintendo Switch, people are bitching about the tariffs. Well, because it got delayed. Oh, the Nintendo Switch. That's too bad. When will Alex Soros pay you to protest something? I don't know. Go to Portland, Oregon. You'll get paid for Antifa protest, maybe. Well, you'll get paid this summer if you did that. There's gonna be some agitators trying to ignite things this summer. They're already out protesting this early in the season. There's gonna be, the weather gets better. They're gonna be out there. Japan Prime Minister ready to talk to Trump. What about the tariffs? Make a YouTube short on your Lego sets. Yeah, maybe YouTube shorts might be better for like doing videos like that, because I can't put them really into the algorithm. It wouldn't go well. But a short, it doesn't really matter. I can't even tell you the last time I made a short. You're kind of burnt out on politics after watching the election. Well, I mean, the election was, at this point, it was a little bit of, I mean, it was a little while ago. I could understand you saying that in like December, but now I'm burnt out on a lot of these just liberals and stuff in general, and just, it's the same stuff. It's constant bitching about Trump and complaining, and will you VP for Vance? I think you have some. I think you're asking the VP. I don't know, man. The people say it's gonna be Rubio, but it's like nobody thought Vance was gonna be Trump's VP until like a month before, a few weeks before he became an actual candidate. Remember, Doug Burgum was a choice for Trump to be VP? It's hilarious. But Vance, I mean, it seems like it's trending towards Rubio, honestly. But maybe it's Tulsi. We'll see what she does. You made a short like 8 months ago. You checked earlier just because. Yeah, and pretty much all my shorts are just clips from my videos. You know, they'll have people that'll make shorts for you. I used to have a young dude that made shorts for me. He just did it for free because he said he wanted to do it. Okay, it's not like this. The dude wanted to make them. So I was like, this is sweet. Go ahead, do it. Then he's like, dude, you're not paying me. Go fuck you. I was like, all right, man. No, I'm kidding. It didn't happen that way. But then he didn't do it anymore. So I was like, all right, let me try and do this. Let me see my editing skills and make these shorts. And then I was just like, I'm not doing this. Hey, you thought the VP was gonna be Burgum? Glad it was Van. Yeah, that would be real bad if it was Burgum. There's a cluelessness. There's just Burgum has this cluelessness look to him that's very unsettling. Like he just doesn't know what's going on. There's just not a lot of command when it comes to Burgum. It's just a vibe you get from him. DeSantis. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, DeSantis is trying to get back on Trump's good side. Now his wife is running against Donald, who's a Trump endorsee. So I don't know. Do you think if tariffs are lifted through negotiations against China, factories will return to the U.S.? Well, it depends the type of negotiations and the deal that gets worked out, but no, that would be, you know, us getting I mean, a lot of it depends on the actual, like, because he might negotiate some of them off, but others might remain in place, and so you'd probably get some domestic production. I mean, you have to commit to the tariffs to get domestic production. So if he doesn't commit to them, then there's not going to be a lot of that. Thought it would be Burgum because his name was included in Trump's website. Yeah, I remember that. There was a rumor. Does Houston go to the White House if they win? Remember when there was a rumor that the Eagles bitched out on going to the White House, and then they're like, no, we're going. Originally, there's a rumor they bitched out. Thoughts on Alex Jones? I love Alex. Vance was the last person anyone thought would be VP until he was actually announced. You thought it was Tim Scott? Well, there was like a final three of, I think it was Tim Scott, Vance, and Burgum. I believe that was the final three. And that was rumored like a week before he picked him. Vance Ramaswamy, that's not going to happen. I'll tell you, Ramaswamy is not going to happen. But Ramaswamy's going for Ohio anyways. You know, he's out campaigning every day now. You see him on Instagram. What did DeSantis do to Trump? Well, he ran against him in the primaries. And so he had to, you know, it pitted himself as like an anti-MAGA. He started going after Trump. And so, you know, he got smeared because of it. Will Trump require married couples to have 2 or more kids to save the population? Well, I think it's more complicated than, you know, you can't require people to have kids. You know, there's incentive structures that can be put up, but it's more so it's a multi-decade revival of the nuclear family, and you got to get rid of the feminism because it's killing the family. But I mean, that's, again, it takes multiple decades to do that. But, you know, I've heard about, you know, having kids and things like that, and it's a culture thing. If the culture is not in place, even if you have the economic incentives to do it, it's not always going to pan out. If you just pay people, you're not going to increase it too much. You think we'll see the communists bow again? It's unlikely. I mean, you know, we would have to be in a crazy scenario where Tim, you know what, Tim, he might break it out in 2028. Yeah, I could see it maybe 2027, 2028. He wants to run again. You know, he's going to run for president this time. And so he's going to have to break out the commie bow probably at one of his rallies. But that's way down the line. I can't see him breaking out a commie bow, you know, this year or next year. He's going to be neutered. Maybe he'll break. Maybe he'll be at a campaign for someone, you know, for the midterms, and he'll break it out. But that's not a big enough festivity to break out the communist bow. We need like a huge, like when he announces his presidential run, that's when you break it out. So maybe 2027. Predictions on Bill Belichick. Yeah, North Carolina, right? I don't know. I mean, the ACC is not a good conference. He can win some games, 8-5, maybe 7-6. But I don't know their roster. North Carolina's. They normally have an okay roster. You want life extension technologies? Well, I mean, you can only speculate on that. I wonder what Musk's plan is when he gets older. You know, you think he, out of anyone, would be obsessed with stuff like that? Something probably to do with Neuralink, I'm sure. Paul Veer versus Carney debate next week will be fun. Are they seriously having a debate? Dude, Carney is terrible. Carney is just so awkward. When is that debate? What day is that? You hate to say it, but you think Newsom could beat Vance? I mean, what's the point of talking about it? It's like, all right, well, if 35 of these things happen politically, then Newsom's gonna. It's like it's such a hypothetical. Like, does Newsom talk well? Sure. But is that really, are we really going with a coastal elite who really was not even liked by California and it turned, I mean, you know, they'll talk about, oh, how powerful California is and all this, but you know, there's areas of that state it's a shithole. It's overrun by homeless people. I mean, I understand he talks well and stuff. He can articulate himself. He can kind of do the whole, like, I'm kind of moderate, and that's the whole liberal grift right now. The liberal grifts are like, oh, I'm going to criticize the Democratic Party. I'm not a shill like all the others. Or they're, fuck Trump. He's Hitler. I mean, that's always it. I mean, that's like a constant thing with them. Will you live stream the Canada debate? Honestly, I don't know how many people would want to see that, but I'm intrigued in the debate. If I don't live stream it, I'll watch it. Or I'll definitely watch parts of it. I want to see Carney. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this stream. We'll see how the markets open tomorrow, I'm sure. Going to be down 4 or 5 points, maybe more, I don't know. April 16th, French debate. April 17th, I would do English. There's no way. So the 17th, like a week and a half. Gonna be rough, batten down the hatches. You see the interview with the guy who trained the 9/11 pilots? Yeah. Another bloodbath. It's gonna batten down the hatches. Yeah, it's gonna be bad, man. Did I just say that? I don't know. I'm tired, man. I don't know what it is. But I'll see you guys. One of the things I'm wondering, when I end my stream, does it cut me off or not? The thing is like I'm on a lag. I don't know. When it ends my stream, is it the actual end of it? Trump as the speaker is actually possible. Sometimes it does. It cuts you off. You just freeze up in the screen loads. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't. I guess it's because it's a lag. Because it's a lag, I guess. I don't, maybe if I lower the lag, the Ethereum done. It's not looking good. All right, I'll try and go to a different screen and maybe it'll stay.